And I think this is what happens when you do the people's business, the public's business, behind closed doors. That's not what America's about, a democracy, and that's not what freedom's about. I've had constitutional concerns from the beginning. The Attorney General has had those same concerns, but it was not appropriate to act until the legislation is passed. Our concerns increased with the Senate bill with its many mandates and outrageous deals like the Cornhusker kickback, the Louisiana Purchase, the Gatorade. And so back in December, I asked our Attorney General, who is the appropriate officer, to explore legal action on behalf of the state if the bill became law. And he had been also making statements that he had the same concerns. And people don't hide behind closed doors unless they're ashamed of what they're doing, or in this case, the legislation they're crafting. Harry Reid knew he was not doing the people's business. The individual mandate to buy insurance is especially troubling. There is no power in the Constitution for the federal government to force people to buy something that they don't want to buy. Many respected legal scholars agree. If the government can dictate you buy what they decree, what protects us from a despot who demands we buy his state's commercial product or the products of his wife's company? Some people may ask, a lawsuit would take so long, what's the use? Well, it's never a waste of time and resources to defend the Constitution. The individual rights of Americans are precious, and many generations have sacrificed to protect those rights and those freedoms. Let me close by reminding you of the words of Chaplain Peter Marshall, who spoke in a prayer on the floor of the U.S. Senate exactly 63 years ago this past Sunday, when he said, "Save us from accepting a little of what we know to be wrong to get a little of what we imagine might be right." It's my pleasure at this time to introduce the Attorney General of the state of Alabama to discuss the legal and constitutional basis for the actions that he plans to take. Thank you, Attorney.
Thanks, Congressman Bachus. Well, it's a sad reason to be in Washington, and this is a sorry subject to be discussing. It's a sad thing when the attorneys general from across the country have to step into the breach to do for the American people what their Congress has failed to do for them. But that's what brings us together today. I'm proud that Congressman Spencer Bachus is a friend of mine. He has been an unequivocal voice against what has been happening in the People's House in Congress. I said it when the Cornhusker kickback was proposed. We simply cannot stand down and watch as the rules are shredded and the Constitution is trampled. And yet that is what not only happened then, but that is what has been compounded in the days since. It was stunning to watch as the chairman of the Rules Committee stood on national television and said, "There are no rules. We're going to do whatever we want to do." He's wrong. There are rules.